I shouldn't be 72, should be 27. It helps to know your numbers. Anyway, I think when I teach this next spring, I will hopefully remember what the course number is. It's literature and popular culture. And since it is described in the course catalog in a very open manner, each of the instructors can actually choose a subtopic. So I chose Read America because this is a sneaky way of getting non-English majors to read a little bit of American literature, and we all hope that they will not notice so much because it's all couched in popular culture. This is a new course, and I didn't even know that it's being taught in the fall for the first time in a face-to-face classroom by one of my colleagues, and I will then be teaching it in the spring for the first time online. It is in Core 39, where it is in the Ways of Knowing category for aesthetic or whatever appreciation. And it's also a writing emphasis course. So it's supposed to do a whole lot of things, and we'll see if it can do this. To give you a little bit of an overview, it works just like all the other classes. I like design. The stars are still there, and the students, this is the start here button, see the welcome video, and I've really enjoyed the fact that I'm now on YouTube. You know, when you have younger nieces and nephews and you can tell them that you are on YouTube, you look that much cooler. But this would be the kind of video that the students actually get in their email, because I can't be sure that all of them are actually Blackboard savvy enough to open the site up. I feel a little bit like Paula and Joyce. You have some freshmen even in 200 level classes, and if they've never even opened the Blackboard, how would they ever find you? I've always wondered about this. Somebody signs up for an online class, do they truly know where it's going to start? Anyway, they will get this video, and then they have all the usual course information. I like these module folders. Somehow they look so neat. And I'm really not a neat person. Just check out my desk at this point in the summer. But this looks kind of neat now. And then the weekly learning units are inside larger thematic modules, which you'll see in just a moment. Assignments are in one tab, but most of them are also linked through the weekly units. They have additional resources, which is just some additional reading and some course support. The Zoom meeting room has been linked here. I guess it's just as well, we might as well continue to the next page.
I think it skipped a couple.
And then they have Gradebook and all the usual buttons underneath. And here you actually, yes, thank you. Yeah, they have a discussion button, a blog spot for the writing groups that we need for this writing intensive class. There is a separate tab. Throughout the semester, they have one assignment of composing a wiki, which has its own button. And then the Gradebook and Blackboard tools are kind of a given. And then we can move on to the next slide. This is now inside the first thematic module, where you can see how the weeks are arranged. And I think this is why it's nice to use the learning module, because then when they are in the student view, they see this essentially as pages. So while I did not lock it in so that they must complete one item before they can move on to the next item, it suggests at least to them that you should do things in this particular order.
And you can lock it.
You can lock it. But I think that creates a whole new set of problems when they don't really want to progress in that particular direction. And I think what will happen, I haven't really fully thought through this, is that I will release the weeks one at a time, probably maybe a week or 10 days ahead of time. In this class, you really cannot work too much ahead because you have to respond to other students. So it wouldn't do you any good if you worked a month or even more ahead, because you'd have to go back to respond to blogs or discussion boards or join a Zoom group. Student engagement is really achieved in many different ways. We have very current textbooks. I'm using some online texts and I'm sneaking in some of the classical materials so they're not so noticeable. You know how the word literature or reading really puts off a lot of our students, so you're trying to hide that a little bit. They get to use, after all, it's a popular culture course, a variety of different media, including movies and Pinterest. We talk about reality television and different social media. So that should be engaging. We'll see how it goes. The assignments are spaced throughout the week. There is a discussion board or something else on Wednesday. Quizzes are available from Friday through Sunday. Blogs and big assignments are due also Sunday midnight. So I'm hoping that they will remain engaged by keeping their reading up and doing things all the time. There are obviously a variety of things to do, but they also follow a routine. And I'm thinking that our students are often just like our puppies. They like a certain routine. And once you have trained them, once they're housebroken, so to speak, they can usually perform quite well, but you don't want them to get bored. So you have to strike a balance. I guess it's a little bit like with a puppy too. The discussions vary really from the light discussion board, which is more opinion-based, just like Denise said earlier, where you kind of regurgitate or just mention an opinion, to the more analytical blogs, where you really have to support an opinion with evidence or compare and contrast or interpret. We have the live meetings once a month. We have the Zoom office hours. I'll reach out to them to engage them in those weekly reminders that Xavier suggested to us. And then, of course, when you notice that somebody struggles, you can use these Blackboard analytical tools, which I still find a little odd. I haven't quite figured out how that can truly be helpful, but you can also personalize emails and reach out to them. I read in one best practices text that you could also have a tea hour once a month and send the students a tea bag so that they can actually make a cup of tea and then meet you in a discussion room. I'm not sure I want to go there, but who knows? So obviously there's a lot of student-to-student interaction through writing groups. They have 2 group presentations where they will have to work together. They do peer edits through Google Docs, so they can work together in this manner. They have the discussion board and the blog. Sometimes I think they don't even want that much interaction, but they'll get it if they want it or not. Also, I think they do get tired of me, but you know, I give them feedback on all of their assignments. They have office hours, they have the online meetings, and you know, if it's necessary, I do send them personalized emails without the tea bag, however. The student to content, and that's why I put a smiley face and a question mark, is a little harder. You know, I think the material is lively, that they should really want to interact with it. But whether they will find it lively, I will be able to tell you in a few months. The assignments are fairly evenly spaced out, so I'm hoping that this will make them more likely to interact with the content, and the weekly quizzes should keep them reading. I'm using the pie chart in the syllabus to demonstrate to them that the quizzes as part of their participation are really quite valuable, and I'm hoping that when they see this visual, they'll know that they can't just forget about the quizzes and still get a good grade. The course design for me is unusually organized, so I'm kind of pleased with that. It's linear, just like Joyce said, and I think that could be a hindrance for those of our students who are not linear learners. But in Blackboard, I really don't know how to get around that. Blackboard seems to think in this linear fashion, which works for me, and it works for Johan, but I don't know if it works for those of our students who are more left-brained. I don't know. Yep, and out of that course calendar that we made together, I copied one line at a time so that there was a to-do list inside of each of the weeks so the students could see what to do. What have I done differently? Well, before being in this class, I would just kind of use my stuff from the face-to-face classroom and adapt it and put it online. And in all the years that I've been teaching, I've never really had a whole class finished before it's taught. So this is, completely new to me. But, this time I actually finished everything. It will require adjustments. But it's really a strange feeling that this whole thing is there and can just be delivered somehow. Like Garrett said, usually in the face-to-face classroom, I see what happens and I adjust my teaching and even the course content to some extent to what happens in the classroom. And this has been difficult for me to imagine this future audience for a class I've never taught, and somehow to make lectures and create course content for people I don't even know yet. Also, as Megan suggested earlier, I'm the type who is going to try this by myself, even if it's going to kill me and I get frustrated. And this was new, to work in a team and to get feedback and somebody actually shows me how to do it. Oh, God forbid, does it for me. Like somebody links my quizzes up for me. That was amazing. Thank you. So for other classes, I have a whole bunch of these standardized policies that I can now just copy and recycle. As all of you have said, I've never really worked with these quality standards. I just kind of plugged along and hoped it would turn out okay. But to have this set of rubrics that I have to follow, that was new and is very useful really for other areas of our teaching. I've taken away a number of different pedagogies and certainly all the technology that we're learning through our online teaching. Online teaching is far more time consuming than a lot of people seem to think. I mean, when I tell my friends who are not teaching that I'm making these online classes, they think this is a little bit like going on Facebook and doing a hobby of some sort. They don't realize that this is really intense. And that's showing me that it's really important that we do embrace these quality standards. As a matter of fact, I'm beginning to resent really those of our colleagues who just continue to just throw stuff online and give our students the impression that all an online class is filling in some tests and being done with it. That may work, for something rigid like medical terminology, where you really self-pace and you're done. But for most of our classes, it really takes a pedagogy that we are now embracing. And I think we really have to overcome these stereotypes that exist out there that online education is the lesser education somehow. So I'm taking away, I think, more skills to plan ahead. I'm a minimalist in other ways than Denise. I don't do Twitter. It seems to clutter my life, and I don't like smartphones. But I'm pleased to say that I can learn some technologies. It's actually quite surprising. And that means that even if I miss the chemistry in the face-to-face class, I'm finding some replacements. There are some substitutes. It's never going to be the same, but that may be okay. So thanks for all the support you've given me.
Do you have any questions for? Awesome. I love the visuals in your class. The stars down at the bottom of your Blackboard, and just everything seems very aesthetically pleasing. It seems, linear, but still very pretty. So I like that.
That's what I like about these online ventures. When you're just thinking that you've done this for many years and it's beginning to get a little boring, there is something new out there that's challenging, and that's what I have liked. And there are these little perks, like playing forever with a wallpaper that makes your life that much more exciting. That's when the students say she really has to get a life.
Oh my gosh, you need to show that animation that you said.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the telegami.
Here, I think I can do it.
Oh,
Do we
yeah.
have a minute?
So nice. Yeah.
So when you have nothing else to do, Ooh. take the the online class that shows you how to make a telegram. It's just an animation.
Come on.
And rather than
There we
sending a
go.
welcome video, you can send them a welcome telegram. And my freshmen were so bewildered by it, they didn't even admit they saw it. And I was so proud.
Was that you that sent that to us?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I guess it's not here. On here.
And then you can go to your app store and buy outfits.
Oh.
Oh, this I'm showing you. You can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the chart function. In a little Excel sheet pops up. You just put the items in it.
Okay. I want to re-log back on. Thank you. This was a long, long time ago. Come on.
I have all your email addresses. I can just send it to you. Just don't be surprised when this animated figure starts talking to you and Susanna's voice. How did she ever get that? How do you spell that?
Maybe you put
Let's see.
Sagami with Laura's name on the search. That might be.
There we go.
Got it.
Okay. Hi guys, just a quick hello before the end of the week. It was a good week for all of us, I think. You did great on your essays and on your voice threads, and now you deserve a little break. I'm sending you an email as well with some of the details about this week's work and what to expect from exams and such. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Something you share. If you click on that share, does it allow you to do?
This.
Yeah. What can you share? Oh, there's embed, so you can embed the whole thing in Blackboard. It's like how you embed the voice thread. So maybe that would be a nice thing to do, a little icebreaker.
Kind of make myself skinny and German.
Then we learn a couple of ways to do introduce a structure. You can make an infographic thing to introduce yourself to students, or you can make a little hello like that.